Bunnies, welcome to another Naked Sunday. For today's video, we're going to be discussing whether friends can remain friends after sex. Now, before we begin, go ahead and grab your drink as usual. You know how it goes. What I'm drinking today, I did something like a little bit different. I'm drinking Pinot Grigio, Smirnoff vodka, and orange juice. And it tastes so good. Okay, so go ahead and grab your drink if you want to try this. Try it with me. Let me know what you guys think, and let's start the video. For this video, I kind of did it a little bit differently. I asked 4 different people if they believe that friends can remain friends after sex. And the general consensus is that yes, they can. And I also believe that yes, you can remain friends after sex once you are at a certain maturity level to remove certain feelings that come with being that intimate with someone. Now, I always say to you, don't, like for threesomes or orgies or whatever, don't do it with a friend because that can destroy a relationship, especially if it's with your partner. Don't bring a friend in because that's just gonna mess up the dynamic of your friendship. It's kind of the same thing with having sex with a friend, but kind of not, because this one is just the two of you one-on-one being intimate. Again, if you have that maturity level where you both understand, all right, we're just, itching a scratch or whatever, then it is what it is. But if you both can't be on that same wavelength, that same page to separate your friendship from this intimate act, then it's not gonna work. But I do believe that it can work. The next thing I asked was, who do you think uses the friendship to, let's say, trap the other person into a relationship or trap them into having sex or whatever the case is? And it was a split down the middle. I actually asked both guys and girls. And it was a split down the middle where it was like the guys were like, the girls try to trap men in relationships through sex, from friendship to sex to whatever. And then for the girls, it was the other way around. For me personally, I find that guys try to develop a false friendship and then try to sleep with you. And then, for me, that's what messes up a relationship, because you're both not on the same page. If you come to me from Jump Street and that's all you want, just sex, let me know that. If you genuinely want to be my friend and it just so happens that one day we're both bored or lonely or whatever the case is and we decide to do it, then that's different. That for me is a much better dynamic than trying to make me believe that we're something other than what we actually are. Okay, like for me, honesty is the most important thing ever. If you have a girlfriend, if you have a wife, if you have somebody else that you're trying to be with, let me know these things before I decide to sleep with you or to compartmentalize my emotions for you before we even go into that act. It was also mentioned by one of the guys that when it comes to that, guys don't necessarily, depending on how they meet, guys don't necessarily go out there just trying to find friendship. They typically want to sleep with you as soon as they meet you. My thing with that is that's kind of messed up. Like, why can't we just be friends and see where it goes? I know for a fact that with girls, we can look at you and within that instant of looking at you, we know whether or not we're going to sleep with you. That's just how it is. And I feel like if everybody was just honest with everybody and be like, yo, I really like you, I think you're hot, I think we should do this, the world would be such a simpler, easier place than having to go through all these rings of pretending to want to get to know the person and all that stuff. Like, just be straight up, just be, forthright or whatever. Let me know if that's all you want from the relationship, and I'll let you know where I stand on that. Okay, and then we can decide from there whether we're just going to remain friends or if we're going to be intimate and call it a day or whatever the situation is. Now, everyone that I asked this question, they have had a similar situation where they were friends, had sex, and then they went back to being friends again. So the question that I asked, how long was the friendship before sex, and are you still friends now? For one person, it was 1 year of friendship, 1 year of sex, and then right now they are just friends. The reason why they had sex is because she was vulnerable after the breakup and just wanted somebody to sleep with, and her friend was right there, and the friend was like, sure, let's do it, that's whatever. For the sexual part of the relationship, only one person knew about it, and that's how it was for like most of the relationships. Either one person or nobody at all knew that they were actually, or that they had slept together, and they prefer to keep it that way. And I agree with that as well, because for as soon as somebody else find out, they'll be like, oh my gosh, you guys are so cute together, oh my gosh, you just see where it goes, da, da, da. And half the time that's really not what you want. You have this friend, you trust this person, and you want to be intimate with that person. You don't want to go out there and meet somebody new and do all these random things with these random people. So you choose someone that you trust, someone that you love, because this is your friend. You love your friend, and your friend isn't going to hurt you or take advantage of you or anything like that. So you go on and you have this intimate act with your friend, and then at the end of the day, you go about your business. You still talk to each other about girls or guys or school or work or whatever the case is. You continue to live your life as friends. And if anything, your friendship probably, it can either become stronger or it can become weaker. It depends on, again, the maturity level of you and the person you're sleeping with. Now, one of the questions that I asked in the little survey was if you taught your friend anything or if your friend taught you anything. Of course, for the girls, they're gonna say, oh, they taught the friend some stuff, and for the guys, well, one guy in particular, which I really liked, the answer that he gave was that they didn't really learn anything from each other, but they had sex in different places, either on the balcony or on top of the car, inside the car, you know, in a parking lot or whatever the case is. That, for me, that I feel like, yeah, that builds up your, what can I call it, your sex resume, so that your next partner can be like, oh, have you ever done it here, da da da. You can be like, yeah, sure. And you don't come off like a slur, you know, a slut whore. Because it just happened with one person, this one person that you love, this one person that you trust, and you just had fun with that one person, but you were still friends with that person. Now, what I should have asked, right, is do you introduce this friend to your new partners as just a friend? Do you let them know that you've been intimate with them in the past? That would have been a very good question. I'm gonna ask you guys that question. If you've ever had, I don't want to say a friends with benefits, but yeah, let's call it a friends with benefits. If you've ever had a friends with benefits and you guys are still friends to this day, when you decided to get into a committed relationship after your tryst and you guys are still friends, do you introduce your friends with benefit with your current person, and do you let them know we're just friends, or do you let them know, yo, we're friends but we did this at one point in our lives and it was really good? That's my question for you guys. Answer in the comment section below. Another guy who responded said that she was actually in a relationship when they started their tryst. They were friends, but she wanted to give her boyfriend head, and the guy said no. The boyfriend said no. So she went to the friend, and the friend was like, of course you could give me head. And she gave him head. He taught her in a way how to give head, like more teeth, less teeth, deeper, just like on a tip, ice cubes, all that jazz, whatever advice he gave her, he gave her, and she took them and she developed her skills and blah blah blah. I don't think she's with the guy right now, the boyfriend who didn't want the head. But from that and from other personal experiences with friends and females and whatever, a lot of the guys said they developed trust issues for girls, and that's probably why guys dog girls so much, because they lack trust. It created trust issues for a lot, well, I can't say a lot because it only lasts like 2 or 3 guys, but it created trust issues in actually 2 out of the 3 guys based on their experiences, especially for the girls who introduce guys who aren't related to them as their cousin, because they've been in a situation where they were sleeping with a girl and she introduced them as cousin. Now, for me, when I introduce somebody as cousin, it's because we have such a deep friendship that it has evolved into more than just being acquaintances or just being friends. I consider you as family. I don't have play cousins or whatever cousins or anything like that. I think I have, like, honestly, 1, and that was like years ago. And that was just to throw other people off that scent. Now, again, this is when I was very single and I was not dating anyone at all. But that's just my 2 cents, my personal tit thrift, whatever you want to call it, with the whole cousin scenario. Now, I feel like if you feel the need to hide a certain person from another person, then there is either some deceit there, or your partner has major trust issues and you know about their trust issues, and that's something that they need to work through. You shouldn't be afraid to introduce someone of the opposite sex to your partner at all, especially if they're just friends. If it's more than friends, if it's someone you have an attraction for or whatever, I can completely understand you not wanting to introduce them to each other. But if this is someone that you care for, that you love, is your friend, like a bona fide brethren, then there should be no issue with you introducing this person. Be like, yo, I call them cousin, and that's only because our friendship transcends a regular friendship. It's more like a family type of thing, okay? But if it's someone that you have slept with, don't introduce them as cousin. Don't say, oh, this is just a friend. No, be honest with your partner. Let them know straight up, all right, this is what it is. We are friends. We slept together and we went back to being friends. We never had a relationship together. We did not, all the other really go on dates or whatever. We just had sex and we just so happened to be friends. Just be honest. For me, honesty is the biggest thing. Don't lie to me about anything, okay? After all of this discussion, because there was, a bunch of different talking in between, and I should have recorded, I really want to get like a group of people and just sit down and record it and just talk. That's exactly what I want to do. But that's for another video. The next question, it dwindled down into sex before commitment, and that I feel like is what's going to be the next Naked Sunday video, sex before commitment. And I did touch on this with the whole no anal before marriage video. If you don't remember, I'll try to link it somewhere here. I really will try to do that. The sex before commitment, that I feel like is going to be the next Naked Sunday video. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions for me, leave them in the comment section below. If you feel like I should have mentioned something that I didn't mention, leave it in the comment section below. If you have a personal question that you're too embarrassed to ask in the comments, my email is in the description bar, so go ahead and feel free to send me an email. Thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, peace sign and kissy face. Bye.